all right, family. Hope everybody can hear me. Hey, King, I hope before you get online, let me know if I sound okay. All right? Because the last time, I don't know what happened, man. But yesterday's video, nobody told me what was going on. Nobody told me that my sound or some kind of background noise was going on. So, uh, y'all let me know. Okay, somebody in the building, somebody's in the building, hear me okay in the comment section. Because I need to know. Somebody let me know if you can hear me in the comment section. All right. I just want to make sure we all good, man. Y'all. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep going. Let me know. Peace, peace, Baragani. Islam, Salam, Hetepu, Rahubat, Gino Lakoni Nani, Chief Noble Bandele Elamine, back again in the mix. And today, we're gonna kind of build off of yesterday's video, right? Like, if y'all checked out yesterday's video, like I said, you can hear me, but there's some kind of interference going on or whatnot. But you can hear what I'm saying, and we was building on a lot of like hidden understanding of what's going on politically. So, like, a lot of people was talking about politically, Democrats, Republican. We was really kind of showing like the inner working of what's going on behind the Democrat, Republican, and things of that nature. So, like I said, anybody in the building, oh, peace, peace, God. Hey, I'm glad you're in the building, yo. Can you hear me okay? Is there any interference or background? Hit me in the box. Hit me in the comments, man. Let me know if everything sound okay. Because yesterday's video, it was sounding kind of weird. It had some kind of interference going on. So, if anybody in the building, let me know if you can hear me okay. All right? Let me know. Let me know. So, anyway, uh, before we get into all these videos, man, you know, y'all go check out. Y'all go check out my books on Amazon. Okay, I got an array of books. Oh, perfect, crystal clear, good, man. Yesterday my stuff was all jacked up. I don't know what was going on, but anyway, y'all check out all my books on Amazon. Go to Bandele Elamine on Amazon, and you can find all my books dealing with treaties, dealing with my main book now is the birth certificate explained. So y'all go check that out. All right. So, and we also gonna have indigenous services.webs.com, the one-stop shop for your needs. Right. Check that out. So with that being said, we're gonna get back on track. So, uh, oh yeah, y'all, come on, like the video, thumbs up this video, like the video, thumbs it up, uh, and subscribe. Okay. So basically, what we was talking about yesterday, this is kind of a continuance of yesterday's video, but we was really getting into like the organizations that are running society. Okay, the governments and stuff that was not the government, but the corporations, the private industries, the private organizations that are really behind the scene. Because, like I said, as melanated people coming out of a certain mindset, we kind of look at things from a slower perspective. We're not kind of caught up to what's going on. We've been kind of behind on the scene for for a few hundred years. Due to slavery and slavery, apartheid, Jim Crow, all these things. So we don't really understand what's really going on behind the scene. We've got elite groups, people with money and influence that are sitting around and putting plans together. And while they're doing that, we stuck on Democrat Republican. or we stuck on what the president's doing. You see what I'm saying? So um, that's kind of what we're gonna get into tonight, man. We're gonna kind of finish in thinking in on some stuff from yesterday. So there are three groups that I'm gonna talk about, and hopefully, King. I think King might come and jump in here. King El Bay said he might jump in tonight and kind of narrate with me on some of this stuff, though. But I want to get into different groups. Some people might call them secret organizations. Some of them are secret organizations, or some might call them secret societies. I'm not here to talk. We're not going to hear talk about the secret societies, like the ones that are commonly known. We know about the Boule and Skull and Bones, things of that nature. Those definitely are important for us to understand. But there are other organizations that y'all may not really understand or heard about, or really understand what they do. So we want to get into those, okay? So let's get started on this, man. I want to say the first thing, though, about these organizations, and this is going to be the theme of it. If you look, the theme of this is going to be that private organizations control and influence policy. Okay. Public organizations control and influence public policy. So, what does that mean, y'all? It's simple. I'll show you these organizations. I'm gonna show y'all these organizations and how. And y'all, I want. But the thing about it is, I want y'all to do the math on it yourself. 'Cause I'm just bringing you this stuff. Okay. I just want y'all to open your eyes that it's deeper than what we just talking about when we talk about politics. Because people get into the politics side and they're like thinking that that's going to move it, and really, it's the influence that comes from these private organizations. Okay, so one of these public organizations we're going to talk about, we're going to first talk about it's called the Tavis Stock Institute. Okay, Tavis Scott Institute. This institution, you guys really don't know. If you don't know this, now this one really hits home because Tavis, this definition, y'all. The Tavistock Institute of Human Relations is a British not for profit organization that applies social science to contemporary issues and problems. Okay, so what does all that mean? It's an institution. First of all, this is a private institution of human relations. So what do they mean by human relations? See, the Tavistock Institution is a society of people who influence society. The Tavistock Institute is the ones that are a lot of what we see today in popular culture. Like, for example, I mean, what's hot now? I mean, like, if we're wearing skinny jeans, the reason why black men are wearing skinny jeans, or why so-called black men may be wearing dresses, or wearing feminine type things, is not just because the society is going to that, but Tavis is in charge of helping control and influence popular culture, which creeps into the society. Okay, so y'all look up Tavis Institute. Y'all gonna have to do some research on this now. To go deeper a little bit, to give you just a little bit more understanding on it about the Tavistock Institute. Okay, it says that, um, let's see, it should be pulling up now. It should be coming up. Okay, okay, it should be coming up. I don't know why it's not. Let me see. Basically, it should come. Okay, here we go. It should be popping up, y'all. Sometimes this thing is acting wacky, but Tavistock Institute is for human relations. Okay, it's for human relations. Let me see. I'm trying to read it. It should have popped up. I don't know why it's not popping up. It's taking this little sweet time. They don't want me to say what I'm saying. I'm just saying, man. Like I'm trying to pull it up on the screen, and it should just pop up, and it's not. Okay, but Tavistock, the Institution for Human Relations, had a profound effect on the moral, spiritual, and cultural and economic policies of the United States. And there we go. Okay, finally. Okay, so look, the Tavistock Institute for Human Relations has a profound effect on the moral, spiritual, cultural, political, and economic policies of the United States and America and Great Britain. It is it was established in Great Britain, and Great Britain is like the sister to the United States. If not, hell, they still run in the United States for all purposes. But the fact is that this institution is telling you that it has a profound effect on everything that we do. It has a effect on how we pretty much perceive our society. Okay. One thing for the melanated people that the Tavistock really has a lot to do with is our music. Okay. Our music. So the hip hop that we 30 years, right, has been influenced by Tavistock. So like the gangster rap all the way down to now the thug, not just the thug culture, but the pill culture, you know, the whole thing behind these female rappers and the way they coming out, all that is placed due to Tavistock. And so when we talk about racism, or we talk about the we're pointing the finger at certain things or people that really need to be pointed somewhere else, because it's really these private people. See, Tavistock is a private institution. So once again, a private institution. Okay. So looking further on, there is another organization that we didn't talk about. Now, I mentioned it yesterday when we talked about the Council of Foreign Relations. When we talked about the Council of Foreign Relations, I did mention about the Trilateral Commission, the TC for short. Okay, the Trilateral Commission. I didn't get into them, but I did want to talk about them today because I think since we've already talked about Council of Foreign Relations, it's only right that we talk about these people, because once again, I might want to do y'all math on this as well, but like you're gonna see. Just wait, hold on. Let me pull this up, because just like the Council of Foreign Relations, we got Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton and whatnot. Even Barack Obama was honorary. Those people and people like them are also part of these private organizations. So what we do is we do have political people who run your government. Okay. See, this is the thing about it. You got people who run the government that are part of private industry. So they took an oath with the government to uphold the government, but they've taken something to the uh, with the private people. They have contracts with these private people. Like if you become a member of a society, then you're under contract. So it's important for us to understand that our political people are also under private contracts. They're in the private membership. The main one is the Trilateral Commission. Okay, the Trilateral Commission, listen, it's a non-governmental, but it's international organization. listen, and fostering closer cooperation between Japan, Western Europe, and North America, founded in 1973. So its job is international. It has foreign policy that it's involved with. Okay, just like the Council of Foreign Relations, you got the Trilateral Commission that is, you know, here to so-called foster some type of cooperation between Asia, Japan, and the Western Europe and North America. So you got these really what it is Western organizations, Western people who are forming these private organizations, okay, that are wealthy. Like we talking about John D. Rockefeller. Go look him up. Look me, I mean, I ain't lying. They're founding people on here. All right. So let me see. I got a sister in there. Please, yeah, this stuff is interesting, and you're right, because like I said, as melanated people, we're like so far behind. We're so far behind on like knowing what's going on, and for us, we got to catch up. But if we can see how these private organizations are out here and how they're working, then maybe possibly that we can create something of the same stature. So that's really the key right here. Um, all right, so let me go on. Let me get back to the next one, because the next organization, and I'm kind of going through these now. I thought King would be in here at some point. I'm trying to wait on Brother King to get on in. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. For everybody up in here, please like this video, subscribe, and please share these videos. All right, to help get the word out, to get the understanding, and all that. Okay, so let's look further at the Trilateral Commission. Okay, I just because I want you to understand, like what I'm not like this is real. These are real organizations. They are they are very powerful. They meet every year, and I'm gonna tell you, like I said before last night, a lot of your presidents of the past, I mean, like Nixon, Ford, Carter. Okay, I'm talking about all of them. Like for real, y'all think I be playing, but the I'm telling y'all, this is crazy. Like I said, I ain't for Trump or none of that, but it's just interesting. I can't find Trump part of any of these. I know Trump might be crazy and everything. I'm not even like I said, I'm not here to like pump up Trump or anything of that nature, but I'm just saying there's there's something about there's something about this organization that has that much influence, and you can tell. Okay, um, okay. So now look at this one. It's saying that the Trilateral Commission is a non. Hold on. I thought I pulled it up. I don't know what's going on with this man tonight. It's like it's all mine. I'm trying to read because it's a membership in a Trilateral Commission is highly selective. Okay, highly selective in how it moves, and okay, let's see if it pull up, man. It's just doing this thing. Like I'm clicking and it's just doing whatever. But it says, I'm gonna read it to y'all. Membership in the Trilateral Commission is very selective and by invitation only. As of 2021, there are roughly 400 members, including leader figures in politics, business, media, and academia organization. Okay, what's going on? Listen, y'all don't understand, man. These private organizations are the real intent. They're the ones that's doing everything. Like we thinking Congress and them is got all the power. Y'all, we thinking that we gotta go. They telling us to go out and vote, and then they be trying to make us like, your ancestors gonna be pissed off if you don't vote. When they don't, it don't matter who they get in office, because the private people are going to make them members of it. And once they become members of their organization, they're going to be looking for something from them, and they're going to be looking for something back. And if they need something done for the president, they got it. You a member of our organization. We fund y'all. How much money is going to these organizations, from these organizations into government? How much? So my thing is this. What I'm saying is, we it's just that we need to be aware of it so we can stop being played. Like, really, and it's not even for us to go get mad and try to tear them down. I'm not even saying that. My thing is, look at what they're doing and making it aware, and let's stop following into the trap. Let's stop following into the trap. That's all I'm saying. Okay, like, look, it finally pulled up. So like I said, the membership in the Triliteral Commission is highly selective. So the secret membership is selective. And this, we talking about in 2021, there was 400 members. Okay? Politics, business, media, and academia. So we talking about everywhere. They got them in the media. Okay, so what we talking about? NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN? Are we talking about media outlets? Fox, Disney? Are we talking about them? See, because if they got members from, like, if Disney has got members, the CEO is members with the Triliteral Commission. Like, why? My thing is, why would they cooperation with Japan and the Western nations? Why do they have so much politics, business, and academia people involved in the Triliteral Commission? Okay, so like I said, private organizations control and influence policy. Okay. Shout out. I don't know if King El Bay in the building or not, but shout out to my brother King El Bay. Like I said, please like, subscribe, and please share this video. Like I said, I'm working on my little crappy ass laptop. For donations to help, I definitely be taking donations. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying I'm trying to make money off of it, but it will be good if we could get donations to help us out. I could bring a lot more information. Okay. I want to look at some of the people on here. I see Sister Pretty Crystal Clear in the building. Appreciate the comments. About to put you up on here just to take a little time out before we get into the next one, because like I said, these organizations, these private organizations, there's so many of them. There's so many of these private organizations. And this is just like all I'm doing is really tapping into a couple of them, because I ain't gonna lie, some of these organizations are, I don't know. I mean, they pretty vicious. So I mean, I don't even know and pull them up. But you know, on a sidebar dealing with this subject, what about George Soros? I just want to throw George Soros out there, because I didn't mention him in any of these things, but he's a perfect example of somebody who is very well. People don't understand that people with a lot of money, they do harbor a lot of influence, and we don't really look at them as somebody who would really do that. And they really hide behind other things. So if you're talking about, like, let's say George Soros and, like, say Bill Gates, these wealthy men, they're like working behind the scenes and got their money behind other organizations doing stuff. That's common. So think about this. You got Bill Gates, George Soros, all these people coming together as one group of influence. Just think of how much power that would be when they put their money and mind to it, and how what they're doing controls us. This ain't a sidebar, but I gotta say this, y'all, because we gotta talk about what Bill Gates is doing. We all know that Bill Gates is out here uh, doing everything. You know, he out here buying a lot of land, and he is influencing things. He's influencing things. Like, why is he buying all this land? Okay, peace, peace, sisters, sister Phyllis in the building. Peace, peace. You know, but why? Okay, if you look at what's going on right now, you got Bill Gates buying up all the land. You got, I just seen how, uh, I don't know, there was 100 facilities, food facilities that have been burned down in the United States. 100 in the past year, y'all. I just found out that the FBI raided like several Amish farmers and told them that they couldn't sell their food no more. And so what I'm seeing is a created food shortage. Okay, so the food shortage come in, and then you got a problem, and then who's going to bring the solution? Now you could have possibly Bill Gates. He got the solution. They into the whole non-meat industry, you know, the impossible food type thing, you know. And I'm vegan, so you know I ain't tripping. I'm vegan, but you got Bill Gates and them over here buying up the vegan type food stuff, create a shortage, and then force everybody into a different lifestyle. See, because y'all understand that lifestyle is influenced by them. We already talked about private Tavistock, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Tavistock. If y'all late to the video, uh, check out earlier in the video. We talked about Tavistock, how Tavistock influences everything. So it's very clear that they have goals and agendas that we just fail to really look into. We just fail to realize it. All right, but let's get on, man. Let's get on. So I want to, like I said, my computer is bugging out, y'all. It is bugging out, and it's making it hard for me to pull up all my stuff. Very hard. But I wanted now this next this next this next family organization that we're gonna look at is something that I don't know if some of you guys might have heard of this. They had a 5-part special on Netflix, and you know when it was out, I told everybody to watch it. And it's this organization, y'all. That's a religious organization. It is a religious organization. It's trying to pull up. It's like I said, my computer is bugging out, but it's finally coming up. Okay, so this organization, they call it the Family. So if you guys go look it up, you're probably gonna look it up under the Family. Okay, and the Family is a secret fellowship of powerful Christian politicians that centers on Washington, D.C. townhouses. They did a whole special on this, y'all. I watched this special on Netflix. I told as many people as I could that could understand it. There is a secret society, and like I said, I ain't talking about the Masons. I ain't talking about the Masons. There's a secret society of Christians that runs the White House. I know y'all thinking like, oh, this. I know. You're like, man, what do you got in that cup? That's what y'all saying. But for real though, let's look at this. Let's look at this. It's a secret group, and you guys wouldn't believe that this group is behind. You would be surprised what this group is behind. Like I said, my computer is running like slow, low, low, low. I might need to close out these windows. But when I watched this on Netflix, y'all might be able to find it on Netflix if you look at it. I can't remember the name of the actual thing, but it might be under the family when you look it up on there. But it's let me see. Let me see if I pull it up. So let's see. Like I said, my computer is bugging. Okay, it's acting like it wants to do it. Gotta read. Like I said, basically the family is a secret group. Okay, there we go. It's the family is a secret group that has built international influence while undermining constitutional division of the church and the states. Okay, so this is a secret society, a secret organization that is eroding the balance of church and state. So what we're saying? So you got these Christians in here. We think about it. We talked about last night about the conservative movement and the conservative Christians. And what we seeing now is that the conservative Christians have a secret organization that they use to influence themselves in politics. Okay? A private, see, all these groups are private. And so this is why I say this, why I keep emphasizing they're private, because we always out here screaming how the government is coming after us. It's the government is the tool that is used by the privateers. The private groups are using the government as pawns. They use the government for military or police force or to force things. They influence the government, and then the government effectively they put us under the scrutiny. You understand what I'm saying? Constitutional division of church and state. They host the listen. They host the National Prayer Breakfast every year since 1953. Do y'all understand what I'm saying to y'all? How many of us understood that this Christian movement not they said every year, so it ain't they're not doing it when Republican conservatives is in office. They doing it when Republicans, Democrats, liberals, conservatives, utilitarian, whatever y'all want to call yourself, okay? They every year since 1953. So how long that been? Y'all do the math on that. Y'all do the math on that. Tell me. This is it. All right. So let's see what's going on in the building. Let's see what's going on in the building. I'm trying. Listen, y'all. I've been trying to pull y'all comments up, and like I said, my computer is dragging and lagging. I need to probably shut it down or not, whatnot before I got on, but I didn't. I forgot to do it, but it's causing me not to be able to, pull stuff up. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm trying to get to y'all's comments right now because I know. I mean, I know it's a few in there. I appreciate, like I said, everybody like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, and please share this video if you feel worthy that the video is worthy of some information. Um, like I said, my comments is tripping. The video, the I don't know. It's weird. It's real weird what's going on. But this,
I told you that shit was happening.
You see him? Are you back in?
I told you that shit was happening.
You in?
I'm in now. Hold on.
You see me? Are you back in? Okay, can you see me now, bro? You in?
I'm in now. Hold on.
Are you there? I can't. Hold on. Let me put you on. Can you hear me? Hold on. I forgot I got these air. Okay, you in the building. Can you hear me good? I forgot I got these air. Okay, can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You can hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, bro. All right, all right. Let me see. You got your screen. Look, did you want me to add that to the screen?
Nah, I was just trying to see. I was just trying to see if we can get it to work.
So I'm about to go in now. So now, okay, everything is coming back. Okay, so man, I'm gonna tell. Hey, y'all. They was messing with me, y'all. They was messing with me, y'all. They tried to get me, man. I had the sister. I mean, it was a whole bunch of people in here, man. Um, Look, they said the same thing. This is happening. Look, we back on the air, y'all. So I don't know what part went out or where you guys left off with me on, but like I said, I was talking about three type of organizations, and I talked about the Tavistock. We talked
Uh,
about the Triliteral Commission, and last one we talked about the family. I'm gonna go back to the family, and
they
I'm gonna show that. See now, everything working now. Okay, everything working.
you froze
So
for a second. You just froze. You had froze when you said the three organizations. You talked about the travel style. You froze
hey
for
man,
a second. I told you. I said this is a heavy topic because a lot of people
hey,
ain't
Hey,
ready.
they weren't ready, man. They not ready. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like they don't know. Like they know, but they don't know. Like all this information, family, is out here, man. It's just that we not looking at it. But it's out here in public. It's public information. Like I said, we talking about. I was talking about the family, y'all. This is called the family. This organization is the Christian organization. They are the most powerful Christian organization, probably, if not in the U.S., but in second to probably the Pope and shit. I mean, like this group. Listen, it has a powerful Christian politicians. Think about it. Most of the politicians got to be Christian. Most of all your presidents got to be Christian.
But this is what's so tricked out. They go get the best and the brightest minds. They look when you finish college. That's what a lot of that fraternity about. That's what a lot of these secret societies are perfect with inside of these colleges, right? So they already in the recruitment stage, looking at you. This is how they recruit you. Harvard, Yale,
Exactly.
already recruiting you. They paying attention. Your grades. They looking at what fraternities you. They already in the recruiting mode. Man, it's like when I was telling you, like we don't understand the institutions that's involved. We're not really into the politics. So the problem why we're not thriving because we don't know who is all involved, all the institutions involved. We're not reading all the instruments to ensure that we can thrive within these jurisdictions. We don't really understand the politics behind what's going on. We look at the Constitution. That ain't the only document that's involved. We gotta look at how this whole governmental infrastructure is working and how it's thriving.
Hey, the fact that these organizations are private and being private, there's contractual agreements being made. Now, my thing is this: I'm looking at these organizations as a model because everything you saying about how we just look at the Constitution as if that's the end all to it, or we looking at the law as it applies. We looking at public policy as if that is going to get us where we need to go. But they are using private policy. They're using contractual agreements. They're making agreements with political people, lawmakers of the country. The lawmakers of the United States are in contract with private membership with their own particular private goals that we don't have no idea because it's secret. It's a secret society.
But
Let me
this,
know if I'm let me know y'all if y'all can hear me good enough.
but this is what they call estate planning. These people are planning 200 and 300 years in advance. This is this is estate planning at the highest level to ensure that they can continue to thrive. This
You
is
got to break that down. Private estate planning.
okay. So this is what they're doing, right? We already know the United States is a corporation. So these people are creating what they call compacts. There's other things outside of treaty. There's such thing as a compact. Don't nobody know what that is. These are number other terms of contracts. So they're contracting with the United States. Hey, we got some new technology. We're gonna give it to you, and we're gonna let you give it to your people for exchange for this. So the government has to bail them out when every time they come up with some technology or whatever, because they got to ensure the survival of this entity to fulfill the obligation of this contract. So you got a lot of private dealings. You got to understand all of this stuff is international and is really all private. What makes it public is that you are attached to a governmental entity that then ensures the thrivability of these privateers because you are some type of official officer or you create these minimum contacts with these jurisdictions with the United States as and so you can be indebted to these other obligations of all the contracts they are associated with that they're making in the private. They create private laws all the time. They make private dealings all the time. This is why you listen to what they talk about when you hear these say, oh, now you got to have a security clearance to know some of this information because this is secure information. This is when you talk about confidential information. You're not privy to this because this is done in the private outside of your knowledge and your scope. You're not privileged to this. You're not a part of these. You're not a party to these contracts. So it's you don't get to know what's going on. So the United States working
Right.
secretly all the time.
And see, and I want to also, like I said, I want to make mention though. It's like we we focus so much on government. Me and brother King, me and brother King talk about this all the time. Me and him go back and forth about this all the time, y'all. But he's saying the government on one side. I'm saying it's private people on the other side. See, I feel like we see the government, and they're the ones that facilitate. Allegedly, they're the ones that seem like they facilitate what's going on. But it's the influence coming from somewhere else. It's the influence from the private organizations, like Tab, not even Tavistock, but like the family. Like you got this religious Christian organization that works side by side with government, has government politicians in their membership. It's those people because it only takes like a couple of people inside to infiltrate and be able to facilitate stuff. You only need a couple. You don't need everybody in the government to get something off. You just need a couple people in the right place. So these organizations know how to influence the right people. the right place. It's just like, look, we didn't even go into the main one, right? But the main private organization that we don't talk about, that's the elephant in the room, is the banking system. The Federal Reserve is the elephant in the room. They're a private organization, but they were able to get legislative powers enacted in order for them to become the United States moneymaker, basically the United States bank, through the influence in the government, to influence the government to do what they're doing. Go ahead, brother.
It's all done through Congress. Congress established the laws. They don't even write the laws, they establish the laws.
Yeah.
The,
Who wrote
the,
them though?
they get private lawyers, private groups to write these laws.
Right.
See all of these private institutions have lawyers, and then they lawyers send the contracts, and then they pass them. This is all done through private communications.
That's my whole thing. Through private, and it don't even be the government. That's my whole thing. We got
But
our
this is
eyes
what I say about the government, though.
we got our eyes so stuck on the government, but we don't see the private people that's really puppet the puppeteer. They're the ones that's pulling the strings.
But this is the thing, though. The government supposed to preserve and protect our rights. They don't supposed to sell us out. See, when you have a government in a nation, right, your nation supposed to protect the interests of the people at all times. That's the purpose of having a nation and a national government. Is the government is there to set up to safeguard the people's rights, to ensure the integrity of the nation, to maintain their thrivability. We're in 30, 40,000 trillion dollars in debt. We're losing through inflation. So, like I was explaining to a brother a month ago, right? I said when we was children, a candy bar was a quarter. Now it's $2. So each time it went up, that was 100% markup. That's a 700% markup. Did you get your increase based upon inflation and the cost of living? No. So they stole 700% of your income. So you working 8 times as harder to maintain a standard of living through inflation. And we don't understand the groups that's all associated and playing politics with government. Because government, now they're under contract. Now we're under contract. We got to fulfill these obligations of these contracts. And people ain't understanding that it's a bigger picture to this. They ain't looking at it on the level that they need to as it relates to estate planning. Everybody else is estate planning to ensure that everybody else keep winning, and we the only ones stuck on the intel of everything. We the last to know. We the last to perform. We the first to go to jail.
Right.
We are looked at in a bad light around the world. Don't nobody respect you. We self-identify as a black people, which we know that black people didn't exist, and we still calling ourselves black after we understand the stuff, and we don't even understand the rules to the game. So how you gonna play a game and you don't even know the rules to it, and then you wonder why you lose it?
Bruh, you don't know the rules to the game, but you don't even know the players that's playing against. You thinking you playing against this person next to you, and really that person that's in there is being manipulated by somebody who ain't even seen in the game. That's what
Exactly.
I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like we playing Monopoly, and there's somebody we playing against, and that person is being manipulated by something that we can't even see. They're hiding. Somebody in the background is influencing them on what to do.
Right.
But we stuck on looking at the person sitting there at the board with us. Like they are the ones that's really playing the game, and it's not them. And okay, I wanted to say this. My sister Phyllis said, "What is the true part of the lobbyists? How they play into this? The lobbyists play a part in this too. Because and look, that's what she's talking about. You got private people or corporations that use lobbyists to influence government.
It's a pay
That's
to
what they
play
do.
system. It's a pay to play system. The lobbyists go up there up the hill with a bag full of money. They go up there and they say, okay, they gotta buy. It's a pay to play system, right?
They
So I,
they influence public
they
policy.
do it. So they go up there and they say, hey man, we got something for you. Lobbyists go and lobby. But we already know it's a pay to play system. And they go up the hill with a bag, suitcase full of money. And they go and they make okay, okay, You run it. So guess what we gonna do? We gonna pay for everything. Lobbyists do all types of stuff. This is the whole purpose. They lobbying so these new laws can be passed in favor of the corporations.
That's my whole point.
Pharmaceutical, the pharmaceutical companies are winning because why? They got big lobbyists. They go up there. They got big pockets. Ooh, they got big pockets. So why, they out there passing all types of laws on stuff just like now. A lot of people are taking these shots, and I ain't
But
gonna
that's my
talk
point,
about
though.
that.
See, that's my
We
point.
don't even
We
know
don't
what's going on. We ain't paying attention, man.
we don't see that. We don't see the lobbyists. We don't see the lobbyists. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't see GE or Procter and Gamble or these big Walmart or these corporations. We don't see the lobbyists. They're behind closed doors. They don't meet in Congress. Like they don't meet with them in there. They meet with them in some lunch, some dinner, some function. You see what I'm saying? They meet
Of
with them
course.
in hidden places in order to influence. And what I'm saying is, we so stuck on what's going on. Like we so stuck on what we so stuck on what Joe Biden's saying. We so stuck on what Joe Biden's saying, and not really what the policies that he's being influenced by, where they're coming from. And
All
we
of
don't get
that.
that. We really don't get a lot of that on any of the news media or even half the YouTubers out here that's talking about it. They're not talking about this, man.
Oh no. And that's what I'm saying. All that's is a distraction. They distract us with this propaganda while they moving in silence in the back and they shuffling the papers around and contracts and deals are getting signed and we don't even understand what's going on. That's why I say we have to know the rules to the game. We need institutions to do what? Investigate all of these international institutions, pull these records to see where the contract lie so we can start understanding what's what, to understand what is the narrative behind these true things.
Right, and I hear you, man. I mean, because you know what, one one thing about these private memberships is the contracts, bro. Contracts. Like, don't you think they got like for example, we talked about Joe Biden. He's a member of um, the Council of Foreign Relations. So Joe Biden, y'all can look it up. It's even on Wikipedia. Joe Biden is a member of Council of Foreign Relations. Now, me and you both know if you become a member to an organization, don't you sign a contract? Don't you sign a contract, brother?
Of course, everything is based on membership. This is why a lot of us don't even understand. This is why you ain't even, man, I ain't gonna get into the other stuff about the constitutionality, about all these voluntary acts that we're doing, because you're really not a member. So that's just like if I volunteer for the fire department, right? I don't get the benefits that the fireman get if he get hurt. I don't get the medical bill. I'm a volunteer. And it says on the maximum law that equity doesn't aid a volunteer. A lot of us don't read the instruments that we're signing. But what I'm going to say is that it's all based upon membership. This is why you're not getting any benefits or truly no privileges, because you are not members of international groups that have a safeguarded, protected interest in whatever they are part of. So you excluded. You don't have no rights. So we don't understand the international powers and influence because we don't even investigate these international organizations. We don't even know what they really up to. We don't ask because we're non-members. And then they have the right to. Now, we ain't got to share this with you because you're not privy to the information. They don't have to share it with it. Go get it. Go ask the United States. They already know. This is why they're doing all this stuff under confidentiality agreements. This is why I talk about contract. Contract make the law.
Contract makes the law. Do y'all understand that? Contract make the law. So we got politicians that take an oath in your face. They take the oath to the Constitution in your face, but behind closed doors, they signing contracts. That's what they doing. They signing contracts, and the contract make the law.
What's so funny?
Not they oath to the Constitution. Heavy mental.
What's so funny, right? In the Constitution, they say a Republican form of government. But what form of Republican form that they talking about? What is being expressed? You see what I'm saying? It says form of government. Form. Republican form. It don't say we're going to be this particular republic government. It says form. So, in the context of what we are reading, now treaties are not null and void. Treaties, it just depends.
What is a treaty? A treaty is a contract. It's a contract. So go ahead.
The thing about, like I said, if you understand that treaties are the highest forms of contracts, then you got what they call a compact. Pull up the definition of a compact agreement or a compact. A lot of people don't understand these contracts. These are a number of contracts we're dealing with. The Constitution says they can't interfere. States can't interfere with the obligations of contracts. The states never said that the federal government can't do that. The federal government have a limited right to contract with whoever they want to. The Constitution provide that. So what do Congress do? Congress have the right to regulate what? Commerce between foreign nations. What is we talking about commerce? They have a right to do business with whoever they want. So they inside the Constitution. You just don't understand how the game is being played because you're not inspecting who all the United States is doing business with. We running around talking about this white supremacy, and you got black people or so-called melanated people in some of these organizations pushing the go button, pushing the green button. We running around talking about this a black and white thing, and it's all about a money thing to them. It's a control thing to keep things moving the way it's moving. They looking at you. You go to the military, they looking for the best and brightest. You go to college, they looking for the best and brightest people. They don't care about what color you is. They gonna throw that money in your face and say, is you gonna get down with this program? And most people gonna say, hell to the yes. Okay, you coming in making $2 million. Oh my God. Who gonna say no to that? And then
You're
you
right.
thinking that you're doing the right thing. You like, man, I'm working for the government. You already sucked in. You already envisioned. They already educate you to come and work for them. You already programmed. So now you're looking at your people as a sore uh a sore on a wound. You like, man, my people, man, now lock him up. They're gonna make these policies for this because these people out here running around they ignorant.
So so if the treaty isn't null and void, isn't America in breach of a contract? Yeah, yeah.
No, not necessarily. See, that's why I say you got to read. So let me ask you this: have you read the Constitution? Have you broke down the Constitution to every level and degree and every word in the Constitution, and then looked at the treaty and then broke down every word of the treaty to determine the violations of treaty?
So all right. So you
It's
if
different than
America has a treaty, okay. So you're telling me like America got a treaty and then they break the treaty, like they clearly violate something in the treaty. Isn't that a breach of contract?
of course.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, I'm just okay. We're on the same page,
But
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 I
then
do
we
understand
gotta
what
look
you're saying.
at but then we have to look at how treaties operate, what jurisdiction, because a lot of us don't even understand how this stuff apply under treaty law. This
Man, none of us know how to do treaty law. Most of us Moors have not been that successful using treaty law.
and that's what I'm saying. That falls in a
Facts.
different venue. They tell you, see, this is what I say about reading. We don't read. We don't take the time to study, to be astute. This is why I say we don't know the rules to the game, so we don't know how to play the game all the way around in totality. We don't know the rules. So we just, you hear somebody say something, it sounds good, but they don't know how the game is really being played. This is why we broke this stuff down about these international groups having this power and influence, right? And then we breaking it down
I'm with you.
to on a national level. Then we going it down, breaking it down on the man. I could really go into some things, but I want to stay on topic with what we're addressing for is how these international groups are influencing and how we're not even looking at none of that. We're not reading. We're not even looking into these international. They make it in public. They let you know what they about. Don't nobody
Exactly.
even go study and see what these institutions on. We don't even know
Exactly.
what's going on with that. But we stuck. Oh man, these constitutions. This man, it's bigger than just the Constitution. It's bigger than the United States.
And go back to my thing. If we at the table playing a game and we looking at the person next to us playing a game, and we think that that person is the actual person, but they actually got something in their ear where somebody's telling them what to do. It's like we need to know first of all who that person is that's telling them in their ear, and then second of all, we need to make sure that we getting that in our ear, that we got something that is allowing us to be able to move in the same way, like having organizations that are set up to influence these people in our communities. Like we got this community we sitting in, and we really don't have any organization or group of people, melanated people with our interests to go and talk to these politicians and to influence these politicians to get what we need. We don't play that game. That's the game that they playing. They playing the game of influence. And we're not not playing the game of influence. The only thing we are a part of we're the ones that being influenced. We the ones being influenced. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Tavistock, Tavistock Institute uses melanated people to facilitate what they want done out here in the public world. Okay, in popular culture. In popular culture, who is the one that sets the trends in popular culture? It's us. We do it. And guess what? Who is influencing us to be the influencer? It's Tavistock. It's somebody else that's controlling these things. It's like who came up with sagging pants? Who came up with skinny jeans? Who came up with these things? Who comes up with the women being like men? Who came up with women being like men? Who came up with men being like women? We didn't do it. It's like we never the ones. It's like who put the guns in the community? Who does all these things? We are just the byproduct of what they use to influence us. And that's what I'm saying. We gotta stop. We have to stop.
We don't control nothing.
I mean, I'm just saying that.
Nothing. Nothing. So no industry. We listen. This is what crazy. Think about all your major industries: the clothing industry, you know, the sport industry. Looking at all of these things that we are major influences in the music, right? And we don't control none of it, but we are so heavily saturated in it, right? And we influence all of this, but we make the least profit off of it. Everybody else
Exactly.
is making the biggest bucks off of our talents that we bring into the table. Rap was a genre that was supposed to die off, but it's the largest genre in the world now.
Exactly. It's like an old video. Myra L said that they use our power. Okay, they use our power of our mind and our money in order to facilitate their world. We keep this good world going. Y'all don't understand that we keep this going with our power and energy. We are one of the most influential people on the planet, and they use our influence against us in order to do what they're trying to do. That's what I'm saying. That's the power that these private organizations have. We have to really we have to look more at these private organizations than we ever have. And we need to look at who is being backed by who and expose, not even just expose them, but to make aware and for us to copy some of the stuff they doing. You know? I mean,
But
I don't
this
know,
is
man.
this
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
why we're not thriving because we're not investigating nothing. And we wondering why we losing because we don't understand the game that's being played on us because we lack the discipline, right, to go and seek this information to ensure that what's going on. So this is like they use the word counterintelligence. Like we don't like how you going if you ain't studying what your enemy doing, how you gonna ever make a counter move? If you playing a game of chess, most of the time, right, when you get on that international level, those players know each other very well. So they start to be able to try to make counter moves through understanding that player. That's why they say Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Why is that? So you can pay attention to what they're doing. You can study that. You see what I'm saying? We
I
gotta
totally understand, man.
we got to do better and try to do research. I think sometimes we can get stuck on, I think there's all things that need to be there across the board. There's not only history that we lack, but we also need to study uh, all other parts of what's going on to better be make have better preparation so we can have better outcomes. I think our preparation is so weak. The knowledge is so weak in certain areas. We might be strong in one area, but then weak in other areas, so we can't prevail or we can't get and thrive. This is why I say we don't know how to play the game. So we always the least. Everybody is doing it better than us. Now you got the Hispanics doing it better than us. And we
Hey,
laid everything down. They got a bigger
exactly.
population. Now their culture is starting to have a big influence. You see
They
what I'm
do.
saying? And now they coming from everywhere, taking jobs, doing a lot of stuff. And just look how they made a law about Asians. I want y'all to think about this. They made a law to protect Asians, but they ain't make no laws to protect no type of black people at all, which we know black don't even exist in the eyes of the law. And they didn't even try to protect Moors like they should. But they do have something like they do have laws, they do have things in the Constitution that protect Moors, but we don't want to. Most of us don't want to identify as a Moor. We don't want to understand what this is. The Constitution says Congress has to make laws for the offenses against nations, laws, offenses that is against the laws of nations. You got to be a nation and have laws, and anybody that offends your laws and disturb the peace according to your treaty as it been recognized under contract, that's a violation. Now you can go to the proper jurisdiction. We so arguing civil rights, we talk about also war crimes. There's all types of rights. You have substantive, procedural, you got civil rights, you got human rights.
Right.
We talking about war crimes. That's a whole nother venue.
That's a whole other thing. I wanted to hit this. I wanted to address the counterintelligence, right? Because we talked about counterintelligence earlier, and one of the things about it is counterintelligence programs that have been designed to dismantle um, the black organizations and the melanated organizations in the past. Now, counterintelligence is a way, it's a form of war where you take intelligence and you corrupt it to your enemy, and that corrupted intelligence causes a breakdown or dysfunction in that organization. So a perfect example of that is COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO stands for Counterintelligence Program. That counterintelligence program was used by the FBI from like 1920s. Well, I won't say they didn't necessarily use COINTEL from the 1920s, but they definitely used it in the 60s and the 70s, okay, against black organizations. And that's when you see a black organization being targeted where one like, let's say for example, you got in Chicago, you had the Black Panthers, and then you had you had the Chicago gang. What's the Chicago gang? The Chicago, the main one, not the Vice Lord, but
Black Peace Stones.
the like the Keystone Rangers and whatnot, right? So you got the Keystone Rangers and you got the black. Panthers. The FBI go in and causes intelligence issues. They tell one group that they trying to kill the other group, and vice versa, and then they fall for it, and so they start beefing with each other, and then it makes it easier for the FBI to be able to target them. They did the same thing to Nation of Islam with Malcolm and Elijah. Okay, they did counterintelligence programs against Martin Luther King. So their whole thing was to disrupt. And so the thing about counterintelligence is being that we are aware of the ability of FBI or whoever else, that if they got counterintelligence, then it only makes sense that you have counterintelligence. Okay. It makes sense that you have to, you, one of the arts of war is to be able to understand your opponent, your enemy. Okay, and understand the tactics that are being used against you. Now, the counterintelligence program is well known. It's been it's been put on blast.
It's been well documented.
I mean, it came out. I mean, look, y'all don't even know. J. Edgar Hoover, he retired and wound up dying a years later after this whole COINTELPRO organization came out in Congress. And so we are aware of this. This is in the public, but yet we don't have a counterintelligence program that is able to counter the counterintelligence. If we know we got counterintelligence, if we know that they got these programs, then why are we not necessarily doing something about it? So that, I mean, to me, that's the counterintelligence issue with the so-called black community or the melanated indigenous community. They way behind too. Like we talk about the black community, but the indigenous and the Moorish community are far behind even the black community in a lot of ways, because they are even failed to even recognize, not recognize, but they have failed to organize. The Moors have failed to organize on a massive level. The indigenous community has failed to organize on a massive level. The only people who really out here organizing is the black. You got Black Lives Matter. You got all these so-called organizations that are trying to organize, but they black. And they're not really being effective, but at least they organize. They got the church. The church is organized. What do the conscious community have as a counter to what they doing? Being that we know all this stuff. I mean, I'm just saying, man. I mean, we got a lot. We got a lot to deal with.
This is
Now, I
what
mean, like I said, these are my opinions. You know what I'm saying? And then, like the sister said, she differ. She might differ on that. Oh shoot, I don't know why that came back up. But I feel like the organization levels are not at where they need to be. That's all I'm saying to you. I'm just saying, like the communities, Moorish communities, the indigenous communities, they are aware of a lot of things that the black community ain't aware of. But they haven't organized, like they're not organized on the level that the church is even on. And the church don't even know half this stuff. But they're better organized, but they've been around for a long time. They're better organized, but they don't have the mental knowledge on how to move with this. Like we do. We got the mental knowledge, but we don't have the organization. And that's the problem with what they're doing to us. Is like they got us all blocked off and they got us into these different cliques, and we're not working together because we all divided in our clique, arguing about different stuff instead of really creating these private organizations, taking our money and funding these organizations, and these funding these organizations so that they can influence the community in which we live in. And that's what I'm saying. We're not doing that. Even as indigenous Moorish, Pan Africanist people, we're not doing that. And that's the whole issue, y'all, is that we got to start thinking about it on that level. You know,
we, We gotta have a think tank. We need think tanks. So they like I said, they are planning 2 to 300 years in advance. Like we're not even planning it for 24 hours. We're not even we're not on that. We're not conscious. We're not woke on that level yet. You see what I'm saying? We're not, and this is why I talk about like we don't understand this stuff. That's why I said when you really understand estate planning, it take you to another level of thinking to understand this stuff. When you really get into the level of understanding the politics surrounding the law, and when you understand politics, what we talking about in politics? You can't politic about nothing if you ain't got no skin in the game. When you talk about street politics, you already know what they talk about, drugs. So, what is our national politics? Meaning, what do we produce? What industries we control? We don't produce nothing, we don't make nothing, we don't control nothing, so we have no skin in the game. You got to have skin in the game. If you're gonna play in the game, you got to have something. You can't talk about politics when you don't have nothing to politic about. What they gonna talk to us about?
Yeah, and you're right, bro. And sister, you're right, man. I'm not. This is not. This ain't to condemn us. And I know we come off. A lot of times we be talking to ourselves, and we be like, we don't know, we don't do this, we don't do that. You're right. Don't be so hard on us. Malcolm X said, "Don't be in a hurry to condemn, because he doesn't do what you do or think as you think." There was a time when you didn't know and what you knew today. And that's very true. And really, this ain't even to y'all. This is to us. This is like a reminder to me and King on what we know and how we need to move for our people. Like the things that, we are, putting together for the organization is to really trying to help solve some of these issues. So we're really just trying to bring that and address it, and like Noble Drew Ali said, if I can just to get you to think, and really that's the goal. It's just to get us to think. And I've given you information, different organizations that we can use as a reference, as proof, if you will, that these things are what's going on. I'm giving you the proof that there's a Tavistock. I'm giving you proof that they got a Christian group called the Family. We giving you the CFR Trilateral Commission, these private organizations. We're showing the people they exist and how they move, so that we can understand that we can have a better understanding of what's going on out here. So when we're looking at what the president said, we're not getting so emotionally charged or emotionally involved in what the president said, because we know that the organization behind him, we looking at what they're pushing or their agenda, or what kind of tie, what kind of political, philosophical, religious, spiritual tie they have to these private organizations. And that's really what we're saying.
But this is what I want to add, right? And I know the sister saying don't be so hard on us, but it's time to press the gas, because all I hear is a victim mentality. We play victim so much. We always playing defense and never no offense. I'm so sick of being victim. We don't patrol our communities. We don't do. It's so easy to do things nowadays that we can change the outflow of everything. We can change the
Got to.
outflow of everything. For example, we can go create a security company and secure our own homes. Somebody can create a security company and say we're gonna put security cameras on your home as a security, and then we can contract with you to monitor your home, your person, and protect you personally. So when you get pulled over by the police, now you have a right to be there because you got a contract to say that you have a right to be there and film everything that's going on. The police now they gonna act different. And if you got a security company that is armed, they gonna be less to be like, okay, we gonna jump this off. You see what I'm saying? People don't even know
I
that
agree.
citizens don't have a citizen right to make an arrest. Look up your citizens' rights to make arrests. We don't even play the game like we need to.
Nah, we don't, and that's the thing. We just trying to wake y'all. We just trying to. We waking up. We come into awareness. We've seen these things. We've been putting stuff together in our minds and on paper for some time, and it's really just time for us to like kind of bring this information and start showing people what's going on another level, and so that they can be like, okay, I see. Let us do A, B, and C now. Oh, okay. Let us move on this. You see what I'm saying, Sister Philip? Okay, y'all. It's like one. We've been on live for a minute, but we about to jump off. But I did want to say, Sister did say something here. Did y'all see what happened when the church met to come up with a plan to deal with the racism against blacks? She said they didn't. Now, she said did here, but I got a correction. They didn't have a black pastor nowhere at the table. So I didn't. I ain't heard about that. I haven't heard about that, sister. You probably have to fill me in on that, later on or something. I'm not even familiar with that. Uh, the last comment. Um, it says don't move a man who don't understand, in my opinion, but more power for real, for real. So I understand that too, sister, and all due respect to that, man. I appreciate y'all comments, and I appreciate the interaction and y'all coming on live with us. Like I said, we've been coming on live every day. Hopefully, we're gonna continue coming on live with different topics. It's just so much to cover, and it's time for us to really just start putting this information out there. And hopefully y'all can go back, check out our old videos, because I got a lot of old videos. And what's the other one, brother? What's the Universal Society of Tribes?
Moorish Universal Society of Tribes. I break down a lot of content from various topics, from child support to a lot of different things. I'm the author of How to Stop Child Support. I'm sorry, sisters, this is not an attack on you, but a lot of the collateral damage is done to the infrastructure of family through this propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand what to do and keep this balance going between the black family, you know what I'm saying, or the Moor family or the melanated family, or whatever you identify with as a indigenous melanated person. My thing is that we have to understand what's really going on, how we're being attacked on all different sides. And the only way you're going to know that is you got to start doing investigative research and start collecting this data so you can have this at your fingertips and be able to know how to think for yourself. Forget to everybody else who's thinking outside of that and align yourself up with people who are thinking more like you so you will have the ability to thrive and have success in your life, in your movement, in your children's life. You see what I'm saying? So I'd like to thank T. Vanderlei for bringing me on tonight, and we gonna keep dropping this game. We gonna take it to the next level. When I say we and him been tag teaming for over a decade now, and now we bring some real life information, and we have got results in the past. So we finna move forward to bring certain information to y'all so y'all can better absorb this information and do some critical thinking. Because like I say, life is a thinking man's sport. So if you're a man or woman, you need to be using your mind and be thinking on how to play this game called life.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. All right, y'all. Please like the video, and like I say, share this video, and we gonna catch you on the next video. We check you tomorrow, y'all. Peace and love.